2 years ago, my wife and I made just under $50,000 for the year between our two jobs. Life was really good. It was comfortable. It was easy. We ate out all the time. Had money to shop. I like to online shop and buy expensive rock climbing gear, and even clothes and stuff like that. It was good. Last year, life had changed a little bit. We worked part-time in a daycare, and I worked 3 nights a week as a trash collector at a college apartment complex. We made just under $13,000 a year and literally barely scraped by. But we were happier than we'd ever been because we had decided to follow Jesus and to value obedience to Him over the material comforts of this world. Um, I think a really big turning point last year was when we were getting low on finances, and we decided that we would go from 2 cars down to 1 car, and so we were going to downsize. And I was really excited because I just spent several $100s fixing the engine on our car, and then we were going to turn around and sell it. But as my wife and I began to pray, we realized God didn't want us to sell the car, but He wanted us to give it away. And that was really hard for me because I saw it as a chance to make money and to give ourselves a little breathing room financially. But we decided that we were going to come to God like this, with open hands, meaning that God could have what He wanted and that He could give what He wanted. And if God wanted us to sell the car, we were going to sell the car. If God wanted us to give it, we were going to give the car. And so ultimately we decided to give the car to a single mother. Totally bless her. It was awesome to see her amazement that someone would just give away a vehicle for no cost and asking nothing in return. And money continued to be tight, but we experienced the joy of giving. Later in that year, money got really tight. We got to the point where we couldn't afford to pay our electric bill. And we were at one point had $29 in our bank account. I remember somewhere in that season, my wife had gotten like $90 for her birthday or something like that, and we were excited to spend it on something nice for a change. But my wife just felt like the money wasn't for her. And she felt like God wanted us to give the money to a friend that we knew in church who was also going through a tough time. And even though we were going through a tough time, we decided it was better to be obedient to God than to be comfortable with our finances. And so we gave the $90 to this guy, and he was so excited. It was such an encouragement and a testimony to him of God's provision. And it encouraged us as well to be able to play a part in that and to see that God was using our resources to bless someone else. But money continued to be tight. I was working 2 jobs. We weren't getting the electric bill paid, and we were really getting down to the wire of needing a financial breakthrough. And one night, we walked to the mailbox, and in the mailbox, in a blank envelope with no name, no address, just Chase and Lacey written on it, was $6,000 in cash. And we obviously hit the floor. We began to worship and celebrate. But it was God providing, because we agreed that we would live like this with open hands, that God could have what He wanted, but that He could also give what He wanted. And I realized that when we live like this and we hold on to our possessions, not only is God unable to take from our lives, but He's unable to pour anything into our lives. But when we allow God the freedom to move as He wishes, to take things out of our lives, we also allow Him the opportunity to pour great blessing into our life.